Well, good morning, everybody. Hello. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual stitching retreat where you hang out with me in here and follow me on my sewing journey. And I hope I can inspire you to put something under the needle. I'm just reading y'all's comments in the chat before we get going. You guys get in here sometimes up to an hour early, and it's just such a pleasure to see you all here. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. My Frito's down here. She's got me trained. She's like, hi, Mom. Remember me? We're supposed to do me first. Do me, right? Hi, Vicky. Yeah, hi. This is our little Frito, our rescue. Richmond, Illinois. Hi, thanks for joining us. Oh, hi, Carol Ann from Australia. Love it. All my peeps are in the house. I love it. Yes, go get coffee, Dee Dee. Absolutely. Dee Dee's out in Vegas. Yes, go get coffee. Good to see everybody here. All right, let me get you your stick. We got new ones yesterday. Here, there you go. Go brush your teeth. And they've got like beef-looking stuff around them. And I know she loves those, but we got to go through this other bag first. Y'all, I'm real my lighting, because this is the east side of the house. So it's getting all kinds of sun and it messes with the lighting on me. And so I'm chewing on rearranging my room again, but I might take this whole setup right here and put it over in that opposite corner. I have some of these, the thread trays came in, the nail polish bottle things came in, and I need to get those on the wall. So maybe you guys can, think about it, what my room would look like. Pretty good. I'm not real sure, but I am thinking about, instead of having the light behind me, which you're supposed to do is have the light in front of you, right? But I've got to work that out. So I'm thinking maybe the corner where my scan and cut sits, I might swap spots with that and put all of my embroidery over there. So you like those thread holders? They are awesome thread holders. Yes, Cody, they certainly are. I love them. Okay. No, don't text Kim if you're in the car. Don't do that. I don't want to be responsible. What'd y'all do with my coffee? Here it is. Love this laser. Look at the gold. This is from Liberty Laser. Isn't that gorgeous? Pretty. Feeling rich today, right? Lynn, I'm glad you made it too. Thank you for joining us. She says she loves the new time. I do too. I like the new time too. It gives me an extra hour to get my brain working, right? So thread wall against the wall would be an art project. I know it would. Okay, so what I'm doing today is I'm going to embroider and stitch up. We are snappliquing today. Am I high enough on this chair? I'm snappliquing the On Wanderlane Mini with the beehive. This one right here. That's the one I'm doing. So yesterday we cut out the shapes with the scan and cut, and I showed you guys how to convert those shapes into an embroidery design in Brilliance embroidery software. So, yeah. Okay. So today I want to stitch it up. Now, I did spend about an hour yesterday after we got off the live, and I fully digitized the design with the bee and everything. I want to show you. I'm going to share my screen and show you guys what I did in Embrilliance. Let me find it. Let's see. Here it is right here. So this is the final embroidery design. This is my PES file format. And if you look, let me zoom in a little bit. Now, she's got a long stitch that's kind of what you take a hand needle and you go in and out and weave. I'm not doing that. So this stitch is a sashiko that is in Embrilliance. It's a run stitch, and I did it in sashiko. Okay, and then I digitized the little bee. Isn't he cute? I'm afraid that's a jump stitch right there. I'll trim that. I'm not sure how that's all going to work. I didn't get way into the weeds of the final bit of, digitizing to make sure that different stitches were different colors and all that. I'll manage all of that on the machine itself. And I also want to add some background quilting that I'm going to pull out of the machine. But I just wanted to show you guys, I also digitized a little center for that flower. And let's take a look at hidden stitches that will be removed. Let me see if it'll do it for me on this. Let me Command A to select all and see if it'll do it. It's not doing it on the embroidery design itself, but the hidden stitches are removed. I could see it in the other thing, the working file. So anyway, that's what it's going to look like. And I did spend time to get that going. So Judy says she's having a hard time removing hidden stitches. So if your pieces are very close together, the software won't do it or can't do it. Also, sometimes it's not that big of a deal, especially on a blanket stitch. I mean, if you've got heavy satin stitching, yeah, you'd want to go ahead and remove that. And if you're having a hard time with it, there's a way to do it using the stitch simulator by isolating just those stitches that you want gone and changing the thread color on that, and then deleting that particular thread color out of the objects panel. So you can do that, but I don't get all hung up on that. Also, you guys, I want to let you know too, like when we did the Happy Halloween quilt, where I had Juju had designed background quilting for each one of the blocks in these big loops, right? Then you put the applique on top of it. Well, those big loops, they're not really minor little stitches, but what's happening is that needle, it'll kind of jump and it'll go jump, jump, make big jumps to get to the other side and finish doing what it's doing, and then make big jumps to come back. You got to leave those in there. You got to leave those in there. Otherwise, it will, yeah, Judy, you can delete the nodes you don't want. You certainly can. That's getting a little more into digitizing than I care to at this early hour of the day. And I don't teach digitizing on this channel, mostly because I know my limitations and I'm okay with them. Okay, I'm not a digitizer. I'm a Snappliquer. They're close, they're cousins, but digitizing is much more difficult. And so for those things, I encourage you guys to check out Lisa Shaw's channel and hang out around in the Brilliant in Brilliance Facebook group too. So lots of good stuff in there. All righty. So I want to get to this, and I'm going to switch my camera angle so you guys can see what I'm doing to hoop this thing. Now, I still cannot find the plastic cardboard that goes in this hoop. I have no idea what happened to it. So I just used a make do, right? We're quilters, we're stitchers. I just grabbed a piece of the sew sampler box and stuck it in there. Oh, it'll work. And I'm just going to lay my stabilizer on top. This is the 8x8 hoop from Dime. I'm going to put my cardboard halfway on. I'm sure it'll turn up. I'm just afraid that it accidentally made it into the trash and went out last Thursday. That's what I'm worried about. Okay. And now I need to cut a handle in this thing. There we go. That looks good. I got a little paper in there. Let me get that out. Okay. So I've got a piece of batting and background fabric ready to go. Just put these on here. And I've got the, what is that called? The selvage and everything is right here. So this looks pretty good. I'm just going to use some pins and pin it in so that it doesn't go anywhere, just right up in the top edge of the fabric. And this is just to make sure nobody gets any grand ideas about shifting around. I don't like that. Like my little pin cushion from the Bella box. Isn't that adorable? I made the little door hanger too, and I shot a video of me doing that, and I'll release that while we're on the cruise. I got to give you guys something to watch while I'm on the cruise, or I'm going to hear it. You're not allowed to travel ever again. Okay, that looks great. So I'm ready to get started on this, okay? I know, look at my cute little pin cushion. I didn't have the right color thread, so I just did it in blue around it. I thought it was adorable. Yeah, it worked out fine. Keeping busy. I was on the road. I did that in the coach when we were up last. That was when it was a pretty day and I was sitting outside reading, and then I was like, I feel like sewing. So I went in and made that. All right, I've got my little rope bowl that I made here from Kimberbell, and it has all my applique pieces in it. This thing, don't go, it times out after 9 minutes. I hate that. I'd replace it, but that would be frivolous. Yesterday, oh, and I did cut out another piece of fabric for my flower. I got that done, no problem. I need you guys thinking about what color center. Maybe black, I don't know, but I'm changing my threads for all of my fabrics. Maybe dark pink, maybe light green. I don't know. I got to figure that out. Okay, so an old Cricut mat in between your magnetic hoops. Ah, that's a good idea, Melissa. Yeah, that's a great idea. I'm not allowed to travel without you. Yeah, you want to carry my luggage, Elizabeth? You can do that. I'll pack you in there. Come with me on a cruise. Okie dokie. One of the things I want to do too is I want to get this BU digitized. I'm going to let the Luminaire do her thing. Okay. So I'm just going to set this on top of here, I think. No, maybe I need my scanning mat. This is too bulky because of everything I did. Let me grab my scanning mat. Hold on. Talk amongst yourselves for 30 seconds. Okay. Just a minute. It's right over here on the other side of the ironing station. Yeah. That's going to keep that folded paper nice and flat. I don't need any kind of distortion. So this is the scanning mat that comes with the Luminaire. You don't have to use this. You can put papers on standard mats and it'll scan it like that. It doesn't know any better. But for those of you that haven't done this, if you have a Luminaire and you haven't, or the Solaris, and you haven't done this, it's a very cool process. And I'll take you through it step by step. So I want that BU digitized. So you can see the look of that. See that Buzzy Bee trail? That JPEG image that I made yesterday in the scan and cut, oops, I put it and brought it into Embroidery and then used it. Let me get these magnets. I should probably have made a single sheet copy of this. That might have been a little better. But I brought it into Embroidery and used it as a template to try and play around with the Bezier tool to make those curves and those shapes and all that. It was a good college try, is what I'll call it. Okay, so I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to scan. Oh, see, my foot is going to catch it. That was my fear, that the foot will catch it. Well, no, I'm bound and determined I'm going to do this. I definitely would not do it there. Let me have this one and put it up here on the top. Let's see if this works. I'm going to raise that foot up too, really high. Let's get in here and take a look. Okay, we've got glare. We don't like glare. Let's see. See, and that's the thing too. If I switch this room, I won't have I won't have the glare. All right. Let me zoom you in so you can see. Okay, the first thing I want to do is raise up my foot. So I'm going to, where are we at? I think it's free motion foot height. Is that it? I'm going to pull it way up. Is that right? Presser foot. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to tell it okay. Let me go into embroidery first. Hold on. My design center. Let's do that. Okay. Now, did my menu? Yeah, it does change. Embroidery foot height. I want it. I always get confused on these numbers. Let's see. I want to go Higher or lower? I don't know which way to go. Wow. I would think that's pretty high. Let me tell it okay. I don't know. We'll see. All right. So I want to scan this and back out just a tiny bit so you guys can see all the buttons. I want to scan this so that I can get those letters BU. That's what I'm after. You don't need to see that. I want these letters BU. So up on the top of the screen, there's a leaf. I know it is confusing, isn't it, Deb? Which way? I wish they'd say big, bigger, biggest, or high, higher, highest, low, lower, lowest. Hi, VP. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Oh, you guys, give a thumbs up to the video if you would be so kind. I'd appreciate that. Free to do. I'm going to hit the leaf for scanning. And I'm going to scan a line design, not an image scan. You've got image, line, and illustration. I'm going to click line design. And it gives you a picture of the scanning mat. I'm going to tell it scan. And make sure the embroidery frame is moved back as possible and lock it down. There we go. Smarter than I am. Scan and okay. Okay, it looks like it's going to miss it. So it's scanning now. Or it's supposed to. Ooh, it missed it. I thought it was going to catch that paper edge. Yeah, what I should do really is to make a copy. Just get a flat sheet of paper and do that. That would be the smart, prudent thing to do. Move my magnet. There's a camera right here, right underneath this. Okay, last pass. All right, and then it's going to recognize. There it, oh, it didn't do a very good job of that. So I'm going to play with it a little bit. What it wants me to do now is to isolate it. Let me get you in a little closer. So you can use your fingers. I'm just going to bring this up and isolate this as much as I can so I don't have to get rid of a whole lot like that. It says framing the image, just like we did on the scan and cut. Exactly the same thing. Frame the image to isolate what you want. The more you isolate, the less you have to edit later. That'll work. Okay, I'm going to tell it okay. That's pretty good. See what I've got? You always forget about the scanning function of the Luminaire, Ruth. Oh my gosh, girl. I love that. Where is my, oh, you know what? I'm going to use the mouse, I think. The mouse, I'm much better with the mouse. What'd I do with the brother mouse? Is it in here? I had thought that it was in here somewhere. Where's my brother mouse? Because it's easier with a mouse for me than it is for using the stylus. Much easier. Aha, here's my mouse. So you can use a stylus or you can use the mouse. And the mouse is going to plug in right, let's see, here. There's a mouse port right there. Got my mouse, little optical mouse here. Okay, so grayscale detection level. Okay, I'm going to tell it retry with a little bit darker grayscale. That looks good. I'm going to tell it set. All right, that looks good. Now, I'm going to go higher in my percentage so I can see it better. Let me go up to 200. That looks pretty good. All right. So what I want to do now is erase all of that stuff that I don't need. Okay. So I'm going to touch my eraser. Up here, I'll show you guys. This grouping right here, it kind of has a light gray box around it. These are line designs and things you can do with lines. And then here you have another grouping in this other light gray box. This is for fills. And then the eraser and the shape, those are outside of the gray box. So they apply to everything. No, the Stellaire does not have a scanning function, Rita, because you take a picture with your phone. Yeah, that has a different deal. So the eraser applies to both lines and fills. So I'm going to click the eraser, and I can change my size all I want, and it gives me a preview. But if I bring it here, I'm just going to go through and get rid of anything that I don't want by running the little thing over it. I actually prefer the square because that gives me a sharper edge to get right over things. Now I'll tell you, if you leave a line, the luminaire will create a stitch for it. There we go. So that's all I needed to do. But the second E is a little weird and I don't like it. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of drawing. So I'm going to tell it okay here. Now I want to go up to the pencil. And let me click my line type. I want a straight line. Tell it okay. And then I need to get, I wonder if I could copy and paste that E, or maybe just use the fonts in the embroidery machine. I might do that. I don't know. We can give it a shot and try. I think if I draw a little bit on here to try to fix it, it's going to be really bad. Yeah, that's going to be really bad. Let me undo that. So I'm kind of going, this isn't what I want. So I'm going to change my plan here and go with the fonts. That's what I'm going to do. So let me go back to home. Cancel, exit design center. Okay. I'm going to go into embroidery. And I want to go to my fonts. And let's use this skinny one right here. That looks good. And all caps. So on these, it's pretty cool. You have large, medium, and small button down here at the bottom, that LMS. That doesn't activate until after you choose a letter. So if I choose a capital B, now there it is. My large is 0.89 by 0.87. That's almost an inch. What's the medium? That's half an inch. That's probably better. And then we'll do E and E space and YOU. There, my stitching will be beautiful. It'll be beautiful. I'm going to tell it set. That looks good. And I need to do an add. And I'm going to go into my design center. Let me back out so you can see what I'm doing here. I need some background quilting now. My design center. I need a shape to tell it what shape the background quilting is going to be in. I want the square. Tell it okay. And I need to change the size of the square. So I'm going to touch the size button. And right up here, we've got 6.19 by 6.19. And they've done a wonderful job with the third update where now you've got a keypad up here and you can touch the keypad. And I want this to be 7.5 set and 7.5 set. So now I've changed my square to 7.5. And that's great. Let's see. Can this be done on the 1055? Yes, Chris, it can. The buttons are a little bit different, but yes, ma'am, you certainly can. I'm going to tell it okay. There's a camera, scanner camera in that 1055. Yep. Okay. So now I need to get some background quilting. So I'm going to touch this button right here with the red. And that's like, what do you want that fill to be? Because remember, I told you this box is all fills. Choose your stitch is what it wants. And I'm going to go here. This is the decorative stitch. And there is a honeycomb in here. So I'm going to select. There's some cross hatching. It's here somewhere. There's my honeycomb right there. Okay. And okay. It's going to do it in red. Doesn't matter. Now I want to take the paint bucket, tap that, and dump the paint bucket into my square. And that's how that works. Isn't that cool? I don't think I want it quite that dense. I'm going to tell it next. Okay. So this is design density right here. I'm going to go to my 100%. That top button, I'm going to make it a lot bigger, maybe 135. Tell it okay. Let it redo it a little bit. That looks better. Not quite so dense. Okay. Now, down here in the bottom, we've got 4 circles. This was an upgrade as well, an update to the software, because it started as an XP1 and I didn't have the choice, because as is, it'll triple stitch that whole thing and it's kind of thick. So if you touch it now, you can go to the thinness and tell it okay. I don't remember if that was on number 2 or 3. All righty. That looks good. I'm going to tell it set. Converted to an embroidery pattern. And Design Center is going to be exited. We're going to jump into embroidery. I'm going to tell it okay. We're getting there. That looks good, yeah? Now, I'm going to go into the edit up here at the top. I don't want to stitch that black line around it. So I'm going to go to edit. And we have a do not stitch choice right here. I'm going to touch do not stitch. Which one don't I want to stitch? I don't want to stitch the black one. So I've chosen the black one. Now I'm going to touch the do not stitch button. And it went do not stitch. I'm going to tell it okay. That looks better. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you look here on the screen, you can see my mouse moving. See the red dots? Those are telling you what is selected on the screen. I actually have 2 designs on here. So I'm going to, down here at the bottom, we have select with some arrows. Let me tip this just a tiny bit. I've got select. I'm going to click the button, and now it has selected the BU. And I can either, I think I can grab it with my mouse and drag it around. Yep, just like on the picture. Okay, that looks good. Now I want to add another design. Where do you want to get it from? Memory. It is, I sent it over wirelessly. I'm going to touch the little radar waves. And let me find it here. OWL. There it is, B final, right there. And set, that's the one I want. It's sideways, I got to fix that. That is the one that's selected. I'm looking at the red dots. That's the one that's selected. I'm going to tell it edit and rotate. And I want to rotate 90. Ooh, that looks good. And I want to move it up just a little bit. I like that. Maybe down a little. What do you guys think? Okay. This looks good. Very cool. All right, I need to make sure my stitch order is right. I'm going to tell it okay. And here's your stitch order button. It's right next to the do not stitch. I'll click that. Okay, so it's going to stitch BU and then the background quilting and then the design, and I don't want that. So I'm going to select this button right here, which moves designs around one at a time. Not that way. Let's go first to last. This is going to be, now come on. I want that background quilting first. It's not come on now. It's insisting on doing BU first. Do a reset. No. Okay, just one. Oh, it's only moving the bottom one. Dang it. Come on, brother. Why don't you let me do that? Let me hit reset. All right. let me select the BU, and I'm going to delete it and tell it okay. Now let's go into stitch order. This is what happens when you don't think out ahead. Okay, now I've got the honeycomb first, my background quilting, then the little bee. I'm going to tell it okay. Now I want to add. Go to my letters. Go here. B, medium, E, E, space, Y, O, U. Good. Set. And let me get it and drag it down. There we go. Embroidery. You like it? I like it. Can't you change the order in your software? I didn't do it in the software. That's the thing too. A lot of y'all have asked me several times, many times, can I do this digitizing in the Luminaire? Snapplique. Can I do it in the Luminaire? You can, but you have to create a separate embroidery design for each one of these little pieces. A separate embroidery design for everything. You know what? Let me go to memory and put it in the machine. There we go. In case we have a power outage. So that's the thing. Can it be done? Because you guys can scan in, as you can see, you can scan in your pieces and create your own individual design. But in order to get them cut out and sent over to the scan and cut, you can do that, but it's really, really time consuming. That's why I use the software. It is so much faster, so much easier to do. You could literally do it the old fashioned way. So you're not sure if those magnets cannot be covering the green strip at the top for a good scan. That may be, Linda. Yeah, they left a little bit to be desired. You had no idea how to do this? Awesome, Mary. Yay, old dog and all that. I hear you, sister. So I'm ready to get this stitched out now. Let me put my cool little, I think, I wanted to do a basting stitch, but I'm just going to do a trace and make sure, because this fabric is 8.5 square. I'm going to do a trace and just make sure nothing's going to hit my little pins. And okay. Trace. Oh, hit the trace button. Okay, just missing it. Not good. I need to move this fabric just a little bit. It's going to stitch into my selvage. Not that big of a deal. No, that'll be okay. I'm just going to move. I'm going to move my fabric down like 1/4 of an inch, you guys. I recommend you do a trace when you're not sure. I'll just do this whole thing and just slide it down a little bit, like 1/4 of an inch. You always, just make sure. It's better safe than sorry. Just to make sure you're not going to hit that thing with you don't want to hit the needle you don't want to hit the pins with your needle. Let me think about what I'm saying here. What'd I do with that other pin? I had 4 pins. What'd I do with it? Is it stuck to a magnet somewhere? All right, y'all. I had 4 pins 5 seconds ago. Where'd it go? 1, 2, 3. Is it hooked on to? What just happened? Oh, my word. Where did it go? Is it on a magnet somewhere? What just happened? Oh, here it is. Woo. On the label of the machine. Y'all are funny. Sorry. My eyes. That's why I put my pins way up in the top of the fabric. Probably should have made it a little bit bigger fabric, right? Okay. Better safe than sorry. We'll do one more trace just to double check. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. All right. Tell it okay. We're ready to go. So I want to see my background quilting. I don't like the same color of thread on the background. I want to see it. So I've got this really pretty glide. It's called Mercury. It's gorgeous. And my favorite little scissors here. To change my threads, I trim up by the top and leave myself a nice long tail. And put this on, okay? And then I get the ends the exact same. I meet up the ends and I do a single little twist, make a big loop, drop my tails behind the loop, and then reach through the loop and pull a single knot, unthread the needle, and pull the thread through the machine, okay? All right, background quilting, here we go. Awesome. Okay. Oh, put my foot height back. Thanks, Harriet. Harriet's right. Look at that stuff flopping around. Let me go to embroidery foot height and go back to normal and tell it okay. Thanks, Harriet. You guys are looking out for me. I forgot about that. I've blown your mind the last 2 days, Tracy. Come in, holding on to it. Oh, I got to put my little box back down here. Yeah, that's the beauty about this machine. You can digitize with this, and I keep teaching you about the Luminaire. Maybe soon you won't be afraid to turn your one on. Oh, Penny, turn it on, my friend. Y'all encourage Penny to turn her Luminaire on. Oh, my coffee mug. I'm a hot mess, you guys. Yeah, go for it, Penny. Definitely go for it. Don't be afraid of it. It's sitting over there going, please use me. Please use me. So, you know, start simple. Start with a Kimberbell mug rug or something like that. Hi, Charlotte. Thanks for popping in. Let's see. You can hear that hoop catching on. It's not catching. It's just kind of going over the base of the machine. I think it's fine. I don't know that I needed to do 7.5 for that background quilting, but it's good. Yes, get your scan and cut out of the box, Kathy. Yes. Yep. Just got a Grace 21. Get my can I teach more things? Hold on a second. On my long arm. Sure, Lucy. My machine, how fast is it going? I think I have it set at about 800. I'm gonna move my pins out. Everything is tacked down pretty good now. I think it's at 800. I don't know. Let me see. Yes, I have it set at 800 stitches per minute. That's a really good speed. It can do, the default is 1050. You don't have to go that fast. If you go that fast, sometimes you get issues, right? Okay, so let me tell it okay. Next thing is the placement line for my little tree. Now, because yesterday I created the tree cut shape from the applique position, that means they have to be identical. There were you don't do any inflate when you create your own applique shapes. Don't do any inflate on that at all. There. Okay. So I'm going to change my thread color to brown. And it's going to stitch out the, you run yours at the slowest speed? Yeah, you can do that. Looking good. Now I'm going to remove the hoop from the machine. And when you do that, that's a great point, Debbie. She's telling Penny, each mess up is a lesson. And if you look at it like that, y'all, I've stitched on a machine and had the needle fall out on me. Okay. Things happen. Just figure out, okay, I'll get past it. You know, don't start on good stuff. Start with, get yourself a bunch of tea towels or mug rugs or something and do that. Okay. And just start. And let me tell you, set yourself some low expectations. Don't aim for perfection right out the gate. I'm going to tell you that right now. Set low expectations. And a lot of people are like, Becky, that's self-defeating. No, setting super high expectations is self-defeating. Set low expectations. Come in with an attitude of, let me see if this works. So you're on a fact-finding mission, right? That's all it is. And it may not work. And if it doesn't work, then you got to chew on it and go, why didn't that work? Why don't he write? Oh, that's a great line from Dancing with Wolves. Folks back home are saying, now, why don't he write? I love that. Okay, look at this, you guys. It matches perfectly. See? It matches perfectly. Love. This is so cool. Let me put my glasses on so I can see. I'm going to put this in first. Ironing is its own art form. You guys have to be careful. Take your time. Get your points kind of set. The ends, get those right, and then press it all in. You don't want a gap. Whoop, I'm on the wrong. You don't want a gap between the thread and the applique piece. This is the Cricut mini iron. I prefer the Aliso M3 Pro. It's over on the other side, but I'm not going to buy another one. So, okay, this will work. That looks good. Yep. That looks great. See what I did there? I took a paper pattern, scanned it into the embroidery, into the scan and cut, imported that scan into, now I have this, my good blanket stitching, and then converted that scan into, oh my goodness, Jackie, thank you so much for your super sticker, sweetie. That's very thoughtful. Cheap class, right? Cheap class. So I've taken a paper pattern. There's the shapes. I took these shapes right here, scanned them into the scan and cut yesterday, and converted that into a machine embroidery design. That is Snapplique. So now I don't have to go around with my domestic and stitch this by hand because I hate that. So, oh, I mess up on here all the time for y'all. I do it all the time. That's how I roll. Oh, y'all, this looks good. Very good. I like it. Okay, so now I am not going to change my thread for all of the pieces on the honeycomb, that beehive. I'm just going to leave it all one color. So I found a thread color that matches all three pieces fairly well. And I'm going to jump ahead in my machine using my needle plus minus button to put the placement lines all at one time. And then I'm going to iron on all my pieces. Can I do that? No, I can't do that. Never mind. I can't do that. The way they overlap, it won't work. It won't work. I can do 1 and 5 at the same time, 2 and 4 at the same time, and then 3 sits on top. Yeah, we'll just go with 1 thread and pull the hoop 40 times and make it work. Oh, I got to tell you guys. Okay, so I talked to Julie from Two Chicks Quilting yesterday. She called me last night. So they had run out of the USBs for Autumn Love by Lori Holt, and she put in an order for another 50 more. Okay, so only 50 more. Riley Blake said they're going to make them. No problem. We're going to do sales cutoffs on Autumn Love. I've got a link below in the description box to this. Sale cutoff for that is the 21st of May, next Wednesday, because then she's going on the first cruise as well. So she'll put the order into Riley Blake on Thursday, and then Friday she's heading for Galveston. Okay, so y'all, the fabric from Riley Blake for the kits for that Autumn Love, they're not even here. They just shipped them. You guys, please, they're going to a lot of trouble for y'all to label the fabrics so you know what goes in what block. Like you'll have a label on them that says yeah, the label will say something like, you know, A for block A, block B, block C, and that type of thing. They're going to package it up very nice. They always do a fantastic job. But you guys give them a break, okay? Don't be calling and going, hey, where's my stuff? Send it. Because they don't have the fabric yet. You guys are so impatient. I love it. Because I'm excited to get started on it too. I appreciate that. Look at that. Perfect. Love it. So she thinks she can get, so the holdup on the fabric, not the holdup, the limiting factor in the military, we call that a lim fac. The lim fac on the kit is the border print, that pretty floral border print. There's only so much of that Riley Blake has in the warehouse. Okay. So here is my next piece of that. Patience is a virtue. Yes, VP, it certainly is. So they're going to label everything for you. You're going to get a beautiful kit. All right. And it's going to have everything in it. And then I'm going to start mine because I'm not, I think I'm going to start mine on the 10th. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to do that on the live. We're going to do a block a day, okay, on the live. We're going to have a good time at it. And they will be there. So, you know, they'll be so that you can, the videos will be online so you can watch them and go back and watch again. This is so fun when it works perfect, isn't it? How nice. This is fitting just perfect. Patience must be practiced. Yeah. So I know she's getting calls all the time saying, can you send my kit? No, she doesn't have the fabric. It is on the way. They shipped one shipment out. Y'all, she ordered 314 bolts of fabric for these kits for y'all. So those chicks, my girls down there in Ganado, Texas, are going to be bringing in load. They're going to be making all those kits and whatnot. So, oh, good. You're off on those days. That's great. Can I tell you about the Autumn Love? Yeah, Pat. Happy to do that. Where is it? It's the embroidery version of Lori Holt's Autumn Love quilt. And you can make it in a 6x10, an 8x12, or a 9x14. So for each one, we are going to cut out the pieces on the scan and cut, or you can do applique the old way. But I'm going to show you guys. I love it when a plan comes together. That's right, Pam. So we're going to stitch it all together. And we'll do a block on Tuesdays and Thursdays, making it together. So I'm going to be cutting out my pieces. See, I think this is the 5th one that goes on. Let me look at this. No, it's not. I swear. Okay, look at this. See the part number 3 with the hole? That's the one that's supposed to be on top. So I'm going to jump around before I do this. I'm going to jump around and put those other 2 pieces on first. I just don't. Ah! Whoops. Beaten up Darla. Sorry, girl. I'm going to go into my needle plus minus, and I'm going to go to, let me do the placement line for piece 5 first. Yeah. So I'm doing 1, 2, 5, 4, 3 right in the middle. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I have it somewhere. I wanted to have the package so you guys can see what it looks like. I don't know what I did with it. Oops. This one goes here. Okay. But the girls, I've got links below to the 2 Chicks Quilting. And what they do is they've got the USB that you can get, or you can just use your own stash. If you have a load of Lori Holt fabrics, you don't have to use their kit. Their kits are going to be as close as possible to the picture on the USB. She's making sure though that the borders and the sashing are the identical fabrics. Okay. All right. And now I want to go up. I need the placement line for piece number 4. Oh, that not changing the thread on this was brilliant. I got to give myself a little credit on that one. Well, that's good, Betsy. She says she's using her stash and it's not even Lori Holt. That's great. All right, now I'm going to put down piece number 4 and stitch it. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Looking good. Mm-hmm. Okay. Very nice. Oh, my blanket stitching is top notch, y'all. Do you need no-show mesh and heat and bond light? Yes, Barb. I would do that. Yeah. I linked in our Facebook group too the no-show mesh that I'm going to use. And I think I put it below this video. Hold on a second. I'm thinking. Just a minute. I got to go back. And now I need to iron on piece 3. I'll show you guys. I did a test with it and it didn't shrink because that's a thing. You guys are very fussy about that, especially if you're making the quilt and it might be washed. You don't want that heat and bond, the stabilizer to shrink on you. Okay. Yeah, I will be using no-show mesh because I want it to be soft. I'm just making the smallest wall hanging in the 6x10. I like small projects like Harriet, right? Harriet's like, why do I need to make another giant quilt? I've made 4 million giant quilts. So the small wall hanging will be cute. Okay, so now I need the final blanket stitch on part 3. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I called the chicks and I was like, can you guys kit this? And they said, sure. So they called Riley Blake first to make sure they could get the fabric, and then they said, yeah, they would. So which no-show mesh? Let me tell you, Marilyn. Hold on a second. All right, now I got to jump ahead again. It's actually a bro thread from Amazon, and it works great. I've been using it for years. There we go. And we'll do the test together, because I put it on Facebook, and somebody came back and said that shrinks. I didn't have it shrink. Oh, I didn't change my thread color, y'all. See, I'm getting excited about this mesh. Hold on, one thing at a time, Becky, one thing at a time. Yeah, get ahead of myself and forget things. Let's see, change this out. Yeah, it's a bro thread on Amazon. I've been using it for years, and I steamed a piece. It's this stuff right here. It didn't shrink. I didn't have any kinds of problems with it. Now, if you're going to be using that SF101, which probably need to do, I don't know, I got to figure out some way to get away from the SF101, because that will shrink. You can pre-shrink it by steaming it. You have that bro thread that was in my Amazon. That's it. It works good. Yeah, I have not had any trouble at all. Y'all, I forgot to I forgot to put my applique piece on. I'm all talking about stabilizer. Ah. Oops. Hold on here. Let me iron this on. My goodness. Too funny. So SF101 will shrink, and you pre-shrink it by, now see, I'm not even picking that out. I'm just going to put my applique over it and let it stitch again. This is not a perfect circle. We've got issues. No. Where's my tweezers? I need my tweezers. Oh. I got these from a lady up in Indiana. They say the Indiana Quilt Depot. She said this is a little, they're closed all the time. You have to squeeze them open. She said, you need something from Indiana. So thank you for that. There we go. You can poke your eye out with these things for sure. I got to turn it until it's right. There it is. Now it's right. Ease. I love machine embroidery is so forgiving. Very forgiving. You can easily fix stuff. I'm going to go back with my needle plus minus and stitch that again. I was looking at that going, that looks weird. What's wrong with that? Are the Autumn Love shapes in the instructions so you can scan them into the scan and cut? No, they are not. Oh, there's our hour, you guys. If you have to leave and go to work, thank you so much for spending your time with me this morning. I enjoyed it very much, and I will see you tomorrow, I hope, on Giveaway Friday. But I'm going to keep going here and finish this up, okay? And then tomorrow I'll add the binding to it. So if you have to leave, please give the video a thumbs up and have a great day and go sew something when you get home, okay? All right, for the rest of you, let's keep going. So next, leaf. And it is leaf number 1, which is the dark green. That turned out good. Yeah, I'm thinking now about changing my room around. Whoops, those fell. Is your Joann's, do they still have their doors open? I haven't been to the one in San Antonio over by the Autumn Love shapes, not on the USB. How do you do it? Embrilliance Essentials. If you don't have Embrilliance, then you'll just do it the old-fashioned way by putting the fabric over the shape, stitch down the tack down line, and then trim out the fabric. So, okay. But I'm going to go into Embrilliance every single day. And by the end of this series, you're going to be a applique creating fool using Embrilliance Essentials. And you only need essentials. You don't need stitch artists for this at all, okay? Because the embroidery designs are already there. Y'all, Embrilliance is only $139. Dirt cheap. Dirt cheap. I don't want to hear it. You bought these big old fancy machines. Y'all get to squawking. Ah! Now, if you've got fancy embroidery software, look in your software to see how to convert. How to convert placement lines, how to make applique shapes from your placement lines, how to create SVGs from placement lines. I'm pretty sure it will do it. Pretty sure. You just got to look in your manual, but I'm going to show you in Essentials. Essentials is just so simple to use. PTWT World. Yeah, hi, Debbie. Okay. That looks good. Did y'all decide on a color for my flower yet? My flower center? Right. I've got a yellow is going to be in the bumblebee. Maybe white? Will Simply Applique work for Autumn Love? You don't need Simply Applique. I don't know if Simply Applique will make placement lines into cut files or not. I'm not sure. Dark pink. All right, Pamela, you got it. I had that idea too. I was thinking dark pink. Change my thread color. Yeah, once you get that skill under your belt of making your own applique shapes, pre-cut on your scan and cuts, you're going to thank yourself. You're going to be so proud of yourself that you got that scan and cut working and you're using it and you love it. And then you don't have to cut applique shapes out in the hoop anymore. You're going to whiz through your applique just like I'm doing here. This is exactly it. Just pull the hoop and iron it down. That's all you got to do. What am I doing? Placement line for the light. See what I lost? I guess talking to y'all. Okay. Placement line for the light green leaf. Oh, it got hung up on the base of the, that's what that is. I'm not happy with my hoop right now. I'm going to show you guys. It's getting hung up here. There's a lip or something, and it's catching. And it's given me a jinky jank in my stitch. See that right there? It happened up here in the brown too. Right there. There's a jinky jank in my stitch. We don't like jinky janks at all. That's not cool. It's not the end of the world, but I don't like it. So I have many videos on YouTube showing how to create your own applique shapes in the, reset my needle plate. Okay. In the Embrilliance software. Also, you can, if you've got a Luminaire or a Solaris, Yeah, you can send it over to the Scan and Cut on the My Connection feature and create your applique shape that way and have it pre-cut that. Your dime hoop sets off the cover plate warning. Yeah. Very good. That looks good. You can't even see it. Okay. Switch to pink for my flower. And I should show you guys how to do that. I will. I'll show you guys how to do that. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. That would be cool. Maybe I'll make that video and you can watch that while I'm on the cruise. That's what I'll do. I'll make a pre-record. My pre-records have little to no editing. I just do not have the time for that. What's going on, Frito? You coming in to see Mama? You want to say hi? Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Good girl. Yeah, good girl. Here's Frito. Good girl. You'd like to know how to send from your Solaris to the Scan and Cut? You can't. You can't. That's only a feature on Brother machines, not Baby Locks. Sorry. You have to use the USB. It still will work. You just have to use the USB. Yeah. You have to use the Brother embroidery thread brand that's in the machine. If it's got Brother embroidery, I'll show you. I'll show you guys. Okay. So placement line for my flower. This is a great little tray for my applique pieces. I like that. This is that rope bowl I made the other day. Okay, now we get to play this little game. Oh, did I get it right the first time? No, of course I didn't. Second time. Okay, that's good. I didn't have to, usually I get it wrong where you spin all 5 petals till you get it right. I got it. If you're coming to any of my classes for Snapplique, you can bring your Scan and Cut, and we're going to cut fabric. So I'll show you how to do that at the class. That'll be fun. Okay. I'm getting stabbed with this. I've got a sewing needle right here. Cute, cute. Dark pink in the center. Yeah. This will look good. I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is from that Sweet Pea Incredithread. This is good stuff. I love Incredithread. Are you going to be giving demos in Houston? No, Connie, I don't think so. No. I mean, if they ask, I will. But if they don't, is this the right color center? Or this one? Probably the darker one. Yeah, I'm going to Houston. Okay, so there are shapes on USB to send. Really? On that? There are shapes on the USB? I don't remember seeing those. For Autumn Love, you're talking about? I just don't remember seeing those. I remember embroidery designs and the instructions, and that's what I saw. But I could be incorrect. Let's see. I think this will be pretty. Yeah, it'd be nice. Will I be using Vintage Farm Girl 2 for anything? Not anytime soon, I don't think. So we're talking about the shapes, you guys. We're talking about SVG shapes, not the plastic shapes. The plastic shape is for the big quilt, the quilting version. We're doing the embroidery version. This design is from Honeybee Hollow, Nancy Halverson's Art to Heart, and it is the B Mini, the little BU Mini right there. Very cute. All right, now my little bumblebee wings. I had planned on just doing a black outline of these. Oh no, I had a smoke color for the wings. Whoop. Embroidery Thursday always runs long. Okay. So yesterday, the pool company delivered a big old pile of rocks and flagstone. So the rocks go that make the waterfall, big boulders make the waterfall. And then the flagstone will go around the edge of the pool. We're hoping the mason shows up today. Y'all need more coffee? Go ahead. I'll be here. Keep going. Well, I'm glad you made it, Cindy. Good to see you again, sweetie. Oh, that's a great idea, Betsy. It's fun to do bee wings with a piece of holographic mylar behind the stitching. Yeah. Well, I should have put that down before I did the stitches, but I'm going to do it now and go back and do it again. Yeah. What's the name of the churches with Ohio Star quilt panels? That's called Firm Foundations is the name of the panel, the pattern. And things above. Let's see. Now you tell me, Betsy. I've got some mylar in here somewhere. Yeah, right there. Go back. Let's see if this works. Let's see if that works. Do that again. Should have thought of that. Cute. Okay. Just tear it away from around the outside. How cute is that? Fun. Whoops. It's all falling everywhere. Oh. I put all my little mylar scraps into an old Kimberbell bag. That turned out adorable. All right, I've got it. Let me show you guys. See my little wings, how they sparkle now? How cute is that? Okay, now the body of the bee is in the yellow. Okay. I was thinking about making that little buzzy bee trail a different color, like a soft, maybe a soft pink. I don't know. No, not pink. Pink won't work. I guess maybe a silver would look good. What do you guys think? This tail's way too big. Okay. Mylar was a great idea. Yeah. Silver. Okay, Debbie, you got it. Oh, he's so cute. So cute. I got a silver right here. work. This is called Smoke by Glide. We'll use that. I've got a thread that needs trimmed. Okay. And I need black for my little bee stripes. That turned out adorable. Great idea, Betsy. Thank you. Just adorable. Yeah, I'll do a video on how to... I've already done a couple of videos on that, but I'll do another one on how to create SVG shapes from embroidery designs. You can import. So here's the thing too, y'all. If you've got a scan and cut and you don't want to fiddle with the software, there is a way. You have to take the PES embroidery file, even if you're stitching on a Husqvarna or what. Don't worry about that, okay? Or a FOF or a Vernia, it doesn't matter. Well, it's going to be in black. It's all one. We're going to let it go because I'm not picking that out. You can take the PES format embroidery design and put it into the scan and cut, and then create your cut shapes from there, from that. You can't use any other kind of, Oh, it's super cute, you guys, even in the black. Yeah, you cannot use any other kind of embroidery design format. You have to use the PES, and that'll be on the USB. So you can take that and put it in there for each block, and I will show you guys how to do that. I've done that before, too. I've taught a class on that. And BU, black or brown? I've got a little jump stitch that's got to go. BU in the black? Yeah, black, you're right. Black it is. I'm going to get rid of this little jump stitch right here. Oh my gosh, that's too cute for words. I can't stand it. Pretty good job of digitizing that little bee and the little buzzy trail, if I do say so myself. Now, I don't have any SF101 on the back of this fabric for these fill stitches that are going to do for the letters, but it's got the stabilizer and the batting and the fabric, so it should look just fine. I love On Wander Lane too. Now you got the itch to do the wall hanging, Loretta. Yeah, get it out and do it. They're fun. The lettering from the Luminaire is much better. Than what I could have done from a scan for sure. I almost would have rather done a different font, but I'm not going to die over that. It's fine. Put my toys up here. While that is stitching, let's do that shrink test on the stabilizer, shall we? Okay. This is the Bro Thread stabilizer that I buy off of Amazon. Very inexpensive. Let's see here. I'm gonna need to switch cameras and turn you around a little bit here. Don't look at my mess. Okay. So we're talking about this stabilizer for use in Autumn Love. Okay. Let's do the little test and figure it out if it's going to shrink at all. So let me get myself a piece here. Okay. This is how you test and see if something's going to shrink. So I've got it set against, I can't see you guys. Okay. I've got it set right here. Okay. And I'm just going to bring the heat over it and steam it. Y'all, it's not shrinking. Look. It is not shrinking. It did not shrink one little bit. It is exactly the same. I mean, it's a little damp and it'll dry out and flatten, but it's fine. So this is the Bro thread, no show mesh. And I've got a link to it below in the description box. This is it's right below the Autumn Love. I think I have the USB, the fabric kits, and the stabilizer. You can get a 12 or the 15, either one. Okay, that finished up. Now I want to show you to pre-shrink SF101. I'm going to get this piece here. I got a piece with the scrim on it, I think. Oh, that's fabric. Yeah, if you go to pre-shrink SF101, you have to do it. Let me peel this off. Okay, that's fabric. This is an old. Okay. So I've got glue side up, all right? And you have to hover this over it and let it dry. And as it dries, it'll shrink up. See, it's pulling. Well, that was a fold. That's actually not. Yeah, it's shrinking up as it dries. So it was up on this line, and now it's pulling itself together. So you have to pre-shrink SF101 if you're going to use that. Look at that thing crawl into itself. Yep. So you'll have a hot mess if you put that in a quilt without pre-shrinking it first. Okay. I hope that was helpful. So that Bro thread has not been a problem. Now, if you are making the quilt, okay, what backgrounds am I using on Juju for Autumn? I'm going to try to keep as close to what the original picture looks like. Cross-hatching on some, might be, you know, honeycombs on others. I don't know. So, okay. Do I have a link to the book so I get a commission? I think so. For these books, yeah. I have them listed right below. So do you just cut out a bunch and put it in a tub? If you put it in a tub, Betsy, yeah, not hot water. You can put it in cool water, but the manufacturer's instructions say to steam it before you use it. Okay. Bear with me on this. Now, I did 2 layers of the no-show mesh without SF101, and it's stitched beautifully with those satin stitches. So don't worry about it. I think it'll work out just fine. This is done. It turned out so cute. Look at that. How adorable. And look at Betsy's Mylar in the little wings. How cute is that? That's adorbs, y'all. So it started out, right, as a paper pattern. Where is my paper pattern? Right here. Yep. Started out as a paper pattern, scanned it into the Brother Scan and Cut, converted into an embroidery design, and it's stitched out beautifully. How fun. I love it. That's adorable. I got to cut some jump threads there. All right, you guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for spending your time with me on Embroidery Thursday. I love this day. And another success from On Wander Lane. I love that. I hope you have an amazing day. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Share it with your friends if you would be so kind. Lots of little embroidery lessons all along the way, right? Okay. Yes, I have it. Everything's in my Amazon store. Awesome. All right, you guys. Y'all go sew something. See you tomorrow.